that shit is live. Oh man, so there's a lot going on with my life right now, and I'm just extremely busy and scattered, and I don't even know where to begin. But at this very moment, I'm in the process of taking my ass up the street to go get my iPhone unlocked. It's funny, I paid for an unlocked iPhone. The iPhone was defective. I took it back. They give me another one because of Apple Care that's not unlocked. You got to make sure that when you go to Apple for Apple Care, where they're going to replace one of your phones, you make sure that they give you what you paid for. I'm learning that shit. So what else? I'm really just experimenting because I wanted to see if this shit worked. I've been, some of you know, I've been setting up my own what's it called? My own social network. It's called Life Management Tribe. And I want to stream live to my site, and I want to use Google to do it. And I just wanted to make sure that this would actually work. And it is, and it's very exciting. So, I don't know if anyone can comment on this video. I don't even know if anyone sees this damn video because I'm streaming live from this. I guess I have to go to my channel to see if anyone's commenting or asking any questions or anything. But let's see here. I don't know what the hell to do. Okay, my channel. But yeah, this is really just a little experiment, just to see if this works. If you're interested in checking out where these streams would be, I can provide that link down here. Let me see if I can provide it to you so that you can just take a look. You won't be able to join the chat at this page, but you'll at least be able to see the live stream, and I can even explain a little bit about what I'm doing. So, over the years, I've invested a lot of time in social media, and I gotta be real. Oh, look at this, people are commenting. Hello. Trista the Wolverine. Well, damn, good to see you. And Lenord Wheeler, we can see and hear you from Philly. Cool. So, well, what the hell is the deal? What's up, y'all? I'm glad to have people here. Here, I'm gonna post a link here so you can just get an idea of where this will be showing, commenting. And it's great now that I know that I can live stream from this, and at the same time see everyone's comments. That's kind of dope as well. I think some of you, I don't know how many people, we don't have that many people in here to keep it 100, but you know, some of the people on this channel helped finance my movie Prison Logic. That movie has gone. It did not go to, I didn't expect it to go to movie. If you know the character Tijuana Jackson, I didn't expect that thing to go. It's not like that shit was going to be a film festival darling. Actually, I didn't expect it to even be in the damn film festivals, and it ended up going to the Florida Film Festival, the Nashville Film Festival, the Brooklyn Film Festival, I can't remember, the Atlanta Film Festival, and then before we could show it to anybody else, a very, very, very prominent producer scooped it up, and he was like, "We in." That's the end of this story. We in. So long and short of it is, the movie's kind of off the circuit, and right now, I provided you with the link. Hopefully you can click it and see what I'm trying to do here. Let me see if that link takes you to where it's supposed to be. Yeah, it takes you to where you're supposed to be. Cool. So anyway, I forgot what the hell I was saying. I was just basically saying that, so it looks like my film, this little film that I made from a crowdfunding campaign, is going to be in theaters next year. That shit is very exciting. If you're not aware, I have a television show that I'm doing for ABC. I haven't started shooting it yet. I leave for Vancouver tomorrow. We'll be filming a lot from there. I'm going to be spending about 75 million at least shooting these episodes, and it's about depression, a black man dealing with depression. And not just about that, it's about a lot of other things, but I guess you get to watch to find out. I don't want to bog you down with the shit. I'm just excited that this is working, because this means I can now spontaneously log on and shoot the shit with the people that are on my social network. And the reason I have my own social network is because with all the time and energy and sometimes money that we put into these social networks, if you really think about it, time is money. And when you ask yourself, what are you getting out of it? It's usually nothing. And so I've decided that I wanted to make a platform that was adding value. And so it's called the Life Management Tribe. And what it does is ultimately we just focus on personal development, psychological wellness. We talk about everything, every single thing. It's just that we take a different approach to it. We're trying our best not to regurgitate or to echo the shit that you're hearing in the mainstream, because that approach is what got us to where we are now. That approach is why 90% of the country is living what they consider unfulfilled lives or unfulfilled existences. So it's Life Management Tribe is about a different approach, a different perspective, and and if I'm lucky, we touch a few souls in the process of breaking it down. And what I mean by breaking it down is we talk about anything. We talk about social engineering. We talk about dating a narcissist. We talk about, am I a narcissist? I just get therapists on board and I send them an invitation and I live stream with them just like this. Be like, yo, can you join me for a live stream? I want to ask you some questions. And we talk about getting unstuck. We talk about eating correctly. We talk about how we're tricked into believing that believing that eating certain things are good for us, and how we deal with how we deal with the stresses throughout the day, how we deal with our trauma, how we deal with abuse, how we deal with growing up in a negative household, and the absence of love, how we deal with our own trauma, how people deal with depression. And sometimes throughout this podcast, this social network, one of the things that I do is I will read books and I will then give you my breakdown of those books. And to me, rather than just typing a letter to someone and saying, hey, I read your book, would you please come talk on my podcast? I make a podcast about the motherfucker. And then I send that to them and say, check this out. I read your book. I read it thoroughly. I read it twice. This is what I gathered. I'd love to have you come and shed some light, help me, and help clarify what what I think I read, and help my tribe understand as well. And right now I'm reading the book. It's called Medical Medium by Anthony Williams, which I think is really interesting, because the way that I retain information is I write papers on whatever I'm reading. This particular thing, topic, holistic care, I've written a lot of papers on, and this book is actually tying together a lot of the mystery that I had mystery that I was unable to resolve over the years. And when I say over the years, over the last, since 1996, I've been doing this. And so now, instead of writing the paper, I write the paper and I use it as a podcast. But the thing about this book that's a trip is this guy has absolutely no medical training. So, you have to take it with a grain of salt, but he really is filling in the blanks of a lot of stuff that I've researched over the years. If you're interested, his name is Anthony Williams. If you'd like to become a member of the tribe, you can do so, or you can request an invite at lifemanagementtribe.com. I think you can request an invite. Pretty soon it'll be opened up to everyone. We try to keep the knuckleheads out because there are people in this platform that are really spilling their hearts and talking about the things that matter most to them. And I don't need knuckleheads in there being like, yeah, but what that mouth do though? You know, trying to keep that mentality out of this. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge like a Patreon for people to be in there, and that'll kind of help minimize the negative fuckery and all that bullshit. But anyway, I'm just excited about the live stream working. We killing them. We killing them. Oh shit, it's likes and people watching it and shit. Well, cool. So what else can I say? Yeah. You know, I also have this movie coming out with Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish called Night School, and it's a very interesting topic. Learning disabilities. It's a very funny movie. It tested really, really well. Kevin's good in it. Tiffany's great in it. Al Madrigal, Rob Riggle, Marilyn Radcliffe, Ann Winters, and myself. It's about these grown-ups, misfits that come back to school to get their GEDs. I'm telling you, and Tiffany Haddish is the teacher. It's pretty fucking funny. What else do I have? I wrote, directed, starred in, and edited my own movie. It's called Prison Logic. That shit will be in theaters next year. I made it with money that people contributed. If you ever need to get insight on how to start a crowdfunding campaign effectively, please reach out to me. I got some stuff I can pass on to you that I think will be very helpful. Yeah, and you know what I can do? I might be able to turn this camera around and just kind of give you a little bit of insight on my social network. Would you if you don't mind commenting and just letting me know that you're interested in checking out my website, because I don't want to waste y'all's time or bore the shit out of y'all, because I'm one of these long-winded motherfuckers. But let me see. Check it out. See if you can take a look at this. All right. So that's the live stream that you're seeing right now, right? And eventually, I'll have it set up so that it fills the screen. But for now, this is such a wide ass joint right here. Let me see if I can. And then it just, God dog. So anyway, that's the y'all are looking at that whatever friggin' page that is right now, and when I open, I haven't made this version of the site available to the public yet, so all my users are actually on a different platform. They're not on this one. So this is where the main feed is, where people post stuff. And the reason you're even seeing stuff in here is because I've just basically transferred the things that were in the previous, in my existing social network to this one, but this one isn't quite ready to go yet. As I said, it's got a podcast. Let me open this shit back up. It's looking crazy. This is the podcast page. The live stream you just saw. Videos. Oh shit, what am I doing? What did I do? I think I fucked some shit up. I did fuck some shit up, didn't I? I don't know what the hell I did, but I better get it right. Let's see. Blogs. We've got a store. We've got a place where you can do like book groups and shit like that. We've got events. We do little tests and stuff for contests, and we give away a bunch of swag and whatnot on the damn thing. And it just kind of, oh shit, I lost my shit. Whoa, you got showed you all the members and shit like that. You just jump around, you can get to see all the members. I will tell you, we got a lot of females like this kind of stuff, talking about personal development. And they they just gravitate to it, and I'm grateful that they do. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, so what type of podcast will be on your platform? I just explained it. I thought I did. No, it didn't sound. I thought I just explained that shit. I just did like a whole. This nigga cracking jokes. Okay. So anyway, um, you know how it is, y'all. You put all this money and time and energy into Facebook or whatever your platform is, IG or whatever, and then they change an algorithm, and then all of a sudden everything that you did is a waste. Fuck that. I started doing my own social network, and I got to tell you, man, it really feels good too. It really feels good. We talk about dope shit on there, and oh, you just showed up. My bad. Yeah. It's basically personal development and psychological wellness, but that covers everything. That could range from, you know what? I could actually read it to you. I think that would just be friggin' easier for me, because, well, you know what? Honestly, that's if I can even access the information, because we've got some things being worked on right now. But let's take a look. So the Life Management Tribe podcast is a funny, practical, and unfiltered. The Life Management podcast is funny, practical, and unfiltered. Each week, actor RomanyMalco attempts to deconstruct anything relating to the mastery of life. Using his twisted humor and colorful life experiences, Romany tells all, sharing personal stories most would be ashamed of, while updating us on the latest findings in self-help, psychology, health, and human behavior studies. So he has a knack for putting things in perspective to help you appreciate and improve upon the life you've been given. You'll laugh so much you'll think you haven't learned anything. I like that. Topics range from why the side chick is a bad idea to cultivation theory, holistic cleansing, social engineering, the mastery of cunnilingus, and much more. The podcast is here to inspire you while arming you with a practical paradigm through which you can take better control of your life. And so, you know, people who've been born outside, here's just a little. Let me keep reading. What else they got on here? That's it. I like that. I think that was actually pretty cool. Teamwork. That was nice. Okay, so here's my take on this shit, and it'll kind of explain what my whole mission statement is. But in a nutshell, what happens is that when you're born into the United States, say your parents are watching the news or watching the TV show, and you're in the womb. What's up, Erica? I want to make you a moderator at this damn place. Erica knows what's up at Life Management Tribe. I'm just showing them the new Life Management Tribe that you actually haven't seen yet, Erica. But here's my in a nutshell shit, right? My in a nutshell shit is as simple as this. If you were born in the United States, you will never be able to, and raised here, it's almost impossible unless you get out of the United States and live elsewhere. It's almost impossible for you to understand. Thank you, Cray Jones. How much of a effort, money, and time is being put into. Oh, by the way, Erica, you can actually watch me and comment at the new so Life Management Tribe site. I haven't opened it up yet. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that you'd be surprised how much money and effort and billions of dollars and go into convincing you or programming you to believe that success is interpreted a certain way, that happiness must be pursued in a certain way, that these are the rules for you, that race is plays this role, you'd be surprised how much energy and effort goes into getting you to believe all these things. That this is the right food. Protein is very important. You know, a respectable family does this. You'd be shocked. And the problem with that is that is more of a misleading indoctrination than it is truth. And so what that means is it's a programming that's happening to help you, or to help make you into a more compliant citizen. So just to give you like a basic example, one day when I was young, I had an internet business, had a lot of credit card debt, and I decided that I was going to pay the credit card debt off, and my minimum payment was like, I don't know, $125 a month, but then there was like a 17% interest rate on this fucking card. So I was like, no, I'm gonna pay $1,000 a month. I had no idea how. I just was running this business that I had started, and it worked. And when I called them to say, hey, I'm still being charged fees on this card, it was a sister too. They gave me a lot of runaround, and then they did something with the card to where I ended up not being able to get them to identify me in association with the card, but the charges continued to come in. And that went on for like another year. And I was really offended by that shit. I was pissed off. And so I finally got it squared away because I had to hire an attorney to get it squared away. And it was just a spiteful thing that they had done. And what I had learned and throughout this process is that was normal. Because what I'm considered, because of the fact that I didn't pay the minimal $125 a month and accrue a bunch of interest costs and end up, paying back triple what I owe or paying forever, I was considered a deadbeat. I'm considered a deadbeat credit card holder because I pay my shit off now at the end of the month. And society kind of works the same way when you deal with developed nations, that if you are not compliant, you're considered a deadbeat. If you're traveling and understanding and developing new paradigms and finding ways to escape financial enslavement, finding ways to educate yourself and your family, in ways that make you life experts, you're a deadbeat. Oh shit. You're a deadbeat to government. You know what I mean? And so they worked really hard to get you to be anything but a deadbeat. They want you to be compliant. They want you to play the game. They want you to have the student loans. They want you to have the mortgage. They basically want you to believe that if you're making payments on a dope car, making payments on a dope house, making payments on your credit cards because you bought some dope shit, making payments on them student loans, that you're successful and that you are the middle class. They want you to believe that making payments on all this shit that you don't own deems you successful. And when you are raised in this country, that indoctrination is hard to escape. And so the government works for these major corporations, and these major corporations, particularly the banks, thrive on that type of mentality. And so much of what you're seeing now is the byproduct of that. But the thing is that if you were born in a different country, you come from a different version of poverty or whatever, you didn't grow up being fed that propaganda. You didn't grow up in front of that television like, we have. You didn't grow up hearing this on the news and seeing it on the billboards that this is the way you should aspire to look. This is the way you should aspire to live. This is the way you should aspire to eat. This is what, this is what a big dick means. You know what I mean? This is what a fat ass means. And this is what it means to be black, and this is what it means to be white, and this is what it means to be rich. This is what it means to be poor. Like, if you didn't grow up being inundated with all of this propaganda, you don't have the same orientation as someone who lives here. which might be why immigrants have a higher chance of succeeding in the United States than people born and raised in the United States. And so this way of thinking, this paradigm that this matrix that we've been born into, it starts from such a young age that we're going to be complacent with it no matter what. There's no way, I shouldn't say that. It's very, very, very rare that someone's going to break out of it and actually revolutionize the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just if it's all you know, it's all you know. And so you don't see how severe it actually is. But let's just say, for instance, had John F. Kennedy been assassinated in another country, if he was the president of another country and he had been assassinated by these entities, that country would have interpreted that as a coup d'etat, right? Which is basically a forceful overthrowing of government. And as a result of that, that country would have then rebelled by attempting their own coup d'etat. And you can see in history, the people have rushed the parliament, not the British Parliament, but they've rushed the embassies, they've rushed the house of the officials, and they've thrown out government. They pulled them out of their cars in the street in Panama, and bang, bang, bang. It's like other countries don't play that shit, but we are again quite complacent because the indoctrination makes it seem not that different. It's not that abnormal. Yeah, shit's getting a little crazy, but we be all right. Truth is, no. This shit is going to go on until the oligarch implodes upon itself. Because, the greedy often eventually consume themselves. But I'm just saying that the reason I was bringing that up is because I think that I'm a really good candidate for helping people look at life differently. To really just stopping a brother and being like, okay, bruh, you made $500,000 this year. Now break down to me exactly why you need a 16-bedroom house. Just help me understand it. I feel like I'm a great candidate for helping people see things differently, helping people develop a better understanding. Okay, so you got you a little change, you're fresh out of college. Why do you need to buy the single family house? Why not get you a duplex? I'm just curious. What's your reasoning? Why not get a fourplex? Same tax bracket. Same tax laws, same loan. You'd be filling out the same loan. It'll still be a residential loan. It'll be a residential loan. You don't have to pay you can still put down the first time buyer's plan of 3%. You don't have to. You can also do your first time buyers no money down. You don't have to. Make an investment. You don't have to classify it as an investment, even though it is a 4-unit property. You and your family can still live in a unit or two. You rent out the other 2, and that pays all your expenses. Help me understand why you're pursuing a single family home. And usually when I confront people with shit like that, they be like, I don't know. I know. It's because the indoctrination led us to believe that. This constant ongoing social engineering, and by social engineering, I don't mean, identity theft as we know it today, but social engineering as in, creating programs to condition the psychological output of large civilizations. It's what Edward Bernays and and all these masters of propaganda have helped government and big industries do, that we lose. These people are hired by government and hired by major corporations to create educational systems and everything else that lead us into a very specific type of belief system. It's like there's an ongoing advertisement campaign everywhere you look. And so if you want to get here's an interesting thing. I was reading a book called 100-Year Marathon, and it's about China's plan to be the next superpower and their Silk Road Initiative. And I don't know if you know about the Silk Road Initiative, but they're setting up these train tracks above water that will run all into South America. They'll be running all through Southeast Asia. This is going to be used to transport cargo for export and import for trade. And, they've got this huge plan. But when you really look at the way that they're getting down, it's the same thing. Everything from the museums to the schools to the textbook, to the book, the literature, the press, they control it all. And they want people to see it a certain way, interpret things a certain way. And even history, really, I can't think of the name of it right now, but, they try to make these things seem as peaceful protests when in fact they were massacres. But they're literally rewriting the history of it. And sure enough, there are going to be generations who are going to grow up being, really? It wasn't just people just marching and just waving flags and shit? And with all of that said, we like to think that we're free. We like to think that we're, and I would say that one of the differences, that's not much of a difference, at least in what I've experienced or what I've witnessed of what I've learned, is that I'll give you a prime example. So in China, you have a lot of businesses and whatnot, but the state, meaning the government, owns 80% of all big business. The state owns 80 to 90% of all media. And in the United States, it's major corporations who own 80% of the government. The big business owns government here. The big business owns the media here. You know what I mean? And so they formulate and consciously push forth the narrative that they believe will best benefit their bottom line. And I'm hoping that Life Management Tribe help people get off that train. I'm one of the dudes who grew up being like, I got to eat more beef so I can get more protein. I got to get more protein because I got to eat more beef. And if I eat more beef, I'm going to get buff because I'm going to eat that beef. And, and then 2 days go by and the nigga ain't shit yet. And I'm like, whoa, I'm used to shitting 2 times a day. It's been 2 days. I ain't shit yet. But I'm getting that protein. And then before you know it, you're used to not taking a shit every day. And before you know it, you're used to taking a shit once a week. I'm like, yo, if something is clogging up your system to the point where you can't digest your food, I don't care how much fucking steak you eat, you ain't absorbing shit. So, shit's laughable now looking back at my younger years, but I'm hoping to just like that, just share practical insights on how to kind of get out of this paradigm, this matrix, this, these 4 walls, this box that we've been trained to live comfortably in. And going a step further, I like to, I read whenever I can. Right now I'm just reading screenplays. I'm reading one book called Medical Medium. And I'd like to share with you whatever it is that I gather from those books and give you my perspective on it as well, and maybe even use that podcast to lure in the author, and we can ask the author questions as well. But the goal ultimately is to sharpen one another at the Life Management Tribe website, or it's a social network, but we want to sharpen one another, and we post a lot of positive things, and we encourage people when they say they're going to do something. We hold them accountable, and and now it's my goal to Yeah, Erica's a nurse, and she posts all this insight on, on taking care of yourself and health and statistics, and you know, seeing that come through the feed, it stays with you. You know, you're getting real information in this in this platform, and as Craig Jones says, it does. It starts with ourselves, and that's what Life Management Tribe is. It's basically a positive network, a positive social network for positive people. I might be able to show you that too. You know, just folks just committed to improving themselves. I don't even talk about politics no more because people are so digmatized. You know, they're so turned out by the by the mainstream narrative that the minute you mention it, they go, they take a side and they lose all objectivity. Uh, uh, and so, and oh yeah, thank you for reminding me, Erica. We got therapists in there. Celeste, the therapist, is in there. She's always loading things on, dealing with relationships, loading things which is dealing with depression, dealing with overcoming your own, getting out of your own way, how to deal with success, the importance of introspection. We just have a lot of dope people in there, and I was right now it's just in its beta phase. I haven't really opened it up. When I open it up, I think there's going to be a lot of experts willing to share. I have a very, very long list of people who've been requesting invites, and I'll get around to giving those people invites. But I just really working to keep the assholes out of there, and I'm thinking that the best way to do it is to run this site like a Patreon. And so what I mean is that I'll probably let people be able to come and check it out for 30 days for free. But if they want to really stick around, they've got to, they got to put up $1 a month or something to help the shit keep running. But anyway, so look, when you go to it, that's the home page right there. Life Management Tribe. You see what it says? It says a positive social network for positive people. You sign up there. What else we got? How you get this shit to scroll? Yeah. See, we have an expert panel so that people can come in and they fill out this sheet and share their expertise and all that stuff, their levels of education, and then we interview them and we ask them, we try to get information out of them. We got the podcast, we got just the tribe itself. You can share and invite folks. Life Management Tribe, daily incentives to pursue your best life. Become a part of the tribe. You no money to join, but if you like it, you can upgrade. If you want to, if you go, I'm getting good shit. This is adding value to my life. I can contribute $1 a month to this shit or whatever. It's not mandatory. It just helps. Really, just helps keeps the lights on. Because these interviews and stuff, they take up a lot of time, and I'm really an actor and a director, and it's hard to do this shit on top of that. Erica said, wow, that looks great. Oh yeah, Erica, it's way better than the PHP Fox site that I had. I'm way more proud of it. You will be too. And I just want to make sure that when we, god damn, how many motherfuckers? Excuse my language. Anyway, I just want to make sure that when I launch this time, it's better than the first one. That's all. So, Action Jackson, I love you, brother. Thanks for all the game. You made me a lot of money. Hey, I love hearing that. I get a lot of people saying that I help them start businesses and stuff like that. Yeah, man, it's like, I have to say, I this is going to sound really biased, but I have to say, man, having the father that I had was such a blessing, because my father's Venezuelan and East Indian. His mother's Venezuelan, his father's East Indian. He's from Trinidad and Tobago. And what up, Jovan? What up? And my mother's Trinidadian. She's Trinidadian by way of West Africa. And so like my parents were young, so they just dropped my ass off all the time. They would drop me off in Trinidad and leave me with my grandparents. And so I kind of grew up running around in Trinidad and shit, and I didn't really have the same affinity to the television shows or the music or the lifestyles that people in the United States grew up to. I didn't have that. Those things didn't touch me or matter to me as much. I just wasn't really up on them. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate that. But I just didn't have that indoctrination. And so a lot of my friends were getting really good at assimilation subconsciously, meaning they were getting really good at aspiring to be the Huxtables or aspiring to be the Brady Bunch. And I was getting really good at surviving in Trinidad and Tobago. I was getting really good at surviving in the projects in Brooklyn. I was getting really good at surviving, in a trailer park full of rednecks. I was getting really good at like life. And from an early age, my dad just really helped expose me to what's real. Parents are flawed. Relationships fall apart. Marriages fall apart. People cheat. People can be abusive. It takes time for people to learn the impact of their actions. And if they grow up, if they're lucky, they'll grow up, live to grow up and learn from those things. You can't hold that against a person forever, because in the long run, you end up shortchanging yourself. And so, I feel like my life has really benefited from it. People that I get to help me write jokes and people that I get to help me pursue dreams are people that a lot of people would just frown upon or avoid because they look funny, act funny, or seem off key. What up, Michelle Franklin Jones? What up, young lady? Bless up. Respect to you too. And those people have become some of my greatest allies because, like I said, my dad really helped me just look at people for being people, and not having these unrealistic expectations of people and this unforgiving spirit when it comes to people. I look at people and I go, it's so funny because when you look at people who are so unforgiving and so angry, he did this, he's a piece of shit, or she did this and I laugh because I'm like, this person really wants a Stepford wife, or this person really wants a robotic society. This person really wants a dream society, because that's not what real life is. But if you grew up in the United States of America and you watched TV, you're gonna believe that that's the way that's what's right. That's how it's supposed to be. What up, Virgo? I'm good. Everything's good. And there's people my fucking age, there's 50-year-old men, men and women of all races in therapy right now. They don't know this, but subconsciously they're in therapy because they're mad at their parents, and they don't know that the reason that they're mad at their parents is subconscious, is because their parents didn't live up to the Huxtables, or didn't live up to the Brady Bunch, or didn't live up to the Partridge Family. So they're upset that they didn't have what they were conditioned to believe by major corporations, conditioned to believe is a quintessential life or quintessential childhood. And so they're having a hard time forgiving their parents for being real human beings. And if you go anywhere else in the world, all the shit that they've been through, everybody else has gone through. They just interpret it differently. We're brought to believe everything is so black and white. It's either this or that. It's either left or right. In the rest of the world, or in a lot of the world, they don't see it like that. You know what I'm saying? And those places that did see it like that, Germany being one, they paid the price for that shit. Okay, look, the British Empire, China, India, the Roman Empire. You get people. How do I receive an invite to site to sign up? If you just go to lifemanagementtribe.com/contact, I think that'll do it. Hey, I'll type it in. I think this is unfair. Let me see if I can type it in. Can I do this shit? Can somebody do this shit? How do you do this? Slow mode is on. Here we go. Life Management Tribe.com/contact. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, so let me know, all right? /contact. Boom. So, yeah, how do I receive an invite to the site? That's how. Yeah. So anyway, you know, you don't realize it because, like I said at the very beginning of this, is that we're used to it. It's all we know. But if you truthfully take a moment to just afford yourself, I'll give you a prime example. Here's the simplest thing, and this was mind blowing to people. One of the things that I did was, this is life management tribe shit, but this is the type of stuff that we're doing. One of the things I did was I took some plane tickets. I just went online and looked at some flights, all inclusive packages, meaning you'd fly, you get a hotel, you get a rental car, and what it would cost to, say, fly to Barbados, or what it would cost to fly to the French Polynesia, or what it would cost to go to Paris or whatever, right? But all inclusive, right? And then along with that, right along the side of it, I said, okay, this is what it would cost for a Gucci belt and the shoes. And I said, this is what it would cost for, and I just started listing all this fashion next to the things. And basically an outfit was costing motherfuckers an experience of a lifetime. One outfit was costing motherfuckers an experience of a lifetime. And I'm of the mentality that you don't go buy the $4,000 outfit until you can afford to buy the $4,000 outfit for the $4,000 trip, the $4,000 experience, or the $2,000 outfit for the. And so when motherfuckers was looking at that, they was like, it really, really fucking, it messed with them. Like, oh shit, they just never put it in. They just never. Oh, look, I see people sending in requests for membership to the Life Management Tribe. That's dope. But some people just never really put it together. And I'm like, we're so, I like Craig Jones said, I shop at Marshall's. And by the way, just throwing this out there, Craig, another example of an indoctrination is, we are led to believe that Marshall's is a lot cheaper. That's not true. Like, don't get me wrong, Marshall's does have its deals. But when I go through Marshall's and I sincerely say, okay, let's take this and let's compare this and let's compare this, because my girlfriend's Puerto Rican and she insists, oh, we got to go to Marshall's. And I was just trying to show her, I'm like, you do understand that shit ain't no cheaper. You do get that, right? And she's like, no, but it is. And I start showing her the prices and we start comparing the prices. Yeah, she done slowed her roll at Marshall's. And don't get me wrong, you can get your deals there, but I just want you to know, again, it's this marketing. CNN, the most trusted name in news. People really believe that they're like a legitimate news source when they've been busted for sponsored content. They've been busted for taking money to tell whatever story you want them to tell from a foreign government, taking the money from, it's like, people look at the news. People actually look at the news and expect to get some kind of truth from it. That shit is crazy in itself. So, someone said H&M and TJ Maxx. This shit is hilarious. But my point is basically being, which I think you understand, is that we're in serious need of, of a new paradigm. And I hope the Life Management Tribe is helping. That's all. The long and short of it is, the long and short. I'm not worried about what you advertise on here. This is an experiment anyway. I'm just actually very excited. I'm very excited that it actually works. That's what's touching my heart right now, is that that I'm going to be able to tell everybody on my platform, yo, I'm going to be live in 15 minutes, and they all going to get the link, and they going to go to it, and I'm going to show up like, what up? Welcome everybody to the, you know what I mean? That's going to be fucking hot. I got my theme song playing and shit. It's going to be live. I'll be doing interviews sometimes live. It'll be dope. So anyway, I'm beginning to sound like a broken record, but I've been, going over some very interesting books and gathering information. And my concern, if the information, and the way that I do my podcast, it's just very straight to the point. There's no air in between. I'm just trying to get the information out there, kind of like my Racket of Racism video. If you haven't watched it, it's here on my YouTube channel if you haven't watched it. But it's kind of the same thing, where just basically I want to get you the information and make you laugh at the same time. and hopefully it stays with you. Maybe you watch it a few times. But this particular podcast that I'm doing right now is on the medical medium and the things that he's explaining about health and ways to eat to combat some of the most common, like he has this theory that at the basis of many of the things we consider autoimmune disorders, at the basis of many of the things, ailments that we face, the most common ailments, lupus, chronic fatigue, and just, I can't even think of them all. There's so many. He believes that EBV is at the basis of it. And he starts breaking down how EBV, Epstein-Barr virus, and he starts breaking down how the Epstein-Barr virus operates. And it has 4 stages. But what's really baffling is the medical field is only aware of one type of Epstein-Barr strain, one strain of Epstein-Barr. He believes there are 60 that fall into six different groups, and in each group there's 10 or more in each of the groups. He goes, there's at least 60. And so, like, I sound like I'm just coming out of nowhere with this shit, but if you've had mono growing up or as a kid, you probably have Epstein-Barr, according to his theory. Also, we confuse mono moving into stage 3, and like I said, it has 4 stages. Moving into stage 3 and stage 4, especially in women, we automatically assume that that's perimenopause or menopause, but that's not. That's actually the symptoms of Epstein-Barr. And a lot of what you consider like, oh, this is the aging process, I'm getting a little stiff, I'm getting this and this, that's not. It's actually Epstein-Barr. And so what makes me really believe the shit that I'm reading is that there was a section in it on lupus, and I just reached out to my cousin. I don't want to tell you the whole podcast right now. You'll catch it on the podcast. But anyway, there's my hour or 53 minutes, and this was a great experiment. My new social network is going to be the shit. The shit. It's going to be the shit. It's going to be so much better than the first one. I'm just going to chalk the first one up to a bad investment. I used something called PHP Fox, and ooh boy, man, wasn't nothing but vultures just trying to get your money, and nothing worked. And shit that they were trying to charge me $4,000 or $5,000 to do, I be doing here in 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. It's hilarious. I came towards the end. I thought I was early. Okay. Well, Sonia, thank you for coming anyway. And you know what? I'm just trying to keep doing these lives. I'm going to do my best to keep doing these lives and whatnot. But I just want to make sure that whatever information I'm putting out there isn't redundant. And so I try to do the lives as I read and as I gather information. And I'm going to be going into Vancouver. I fly to Vancouver tomorrow to start filming my show, Life, A Million Little Things, which is about depression. And it's great because it's a show that's going to help open up the conversation around depression in men. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to focus on reading these screenplays and getting my lines down and finding a home in Vancouver, the most expensive place to live in North America, by the way, Vancouver. And getting all that squared away and seeing if I can get my family to come live with me, because I would love nothing more than that. But I'm going to have to start working on that shit, and it might kind of steal from the time that I usually spend studying and gathering information. Because that's what makes me excited, like learning some shit and then sharing it and sharing it well. That makes me excited. So I just thank you for your time. How many of us were watching? I'm grateful for the time that you were on here. And I hope you don't feel like you wasted your time in the process. And Life Management Tribe is the real fucking deal. We got this shit going. Erica, you see this? All right. Really quick before I go, you guys, you have any questions or anything? Anybody? This is my first time checking out your live. You're dope. I am T. So listen here, Cray Jones, I really appreciate that. And I just, okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Trista the Wolverine, really proud of you. Thank you very much, Trista. Action Jackson, thanks. You're a great man. I look to you like Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey. I'm sure that's what that says. To you like Mark. Yep, and Marcus Garvey. Thank you very much. I'm not on that level of intelligence. I just want to make that shit really clear. Nor am I on that level of radical. But I do believe that I'm done talking politics because people are just they're just too fucking digmatized to hear anything objective. So my approach to politics is if we just make better, more conscious human beings, maybe they'll be better at politics too. I don't know. Thank you for everything y'all had to say. That really means a lot. And this is to be continued, y'all. Take it easy. Have a blessed one, man. And someone asked me earlier, what about the Tijuana Jackson videos? You know what? I'm going to get around to making those again, but it's just a time thing. And the way that it works now is if I'm spending 8 months shooting a show, that little window of 4 months that I have off, I may get to do a movie. I may and spend some time with my family. And maybe block out 1 month and try to record a bunch of TJ videos. And where can I buy a hoodie? You don't have to buy a hoodie. When I open up the new Life Management Tribe, everyone's getting a free hoodie. You ain't got to buy no hoodie. Everybody's getting their hoodie. Oh, goody, goody, goody. If you don't know, now you know. I'm just being stupid. You ain't got to buy no hoodie, Erica. Everybody's getting a free hoodie. As soon as the new Life Management Tribe site launches, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm giving everybody a code to go get their free hoodie. All right. So I should go now. My time is up. I love y'all. And plus, real talk, I got to pee. And when you're at my age, you shouldn't hold your urine long because your prostate don't like that. That's just some facts. Anybody got any other questions before I bounce off this motherfucker? Anything else? You got anything? Any other questions? I'm listening. Oh, man. Hold up. Let me do my key. Do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Peace, my brother. All right, Craig Jones, take it easy, my brother. Take it easy, y'all. Hooray. All right, love you, Erica. Take it easy. It worked. Thanks. Leonard Wheeler, thank you for requesting an invite. I saw it come through. I won't send out those invites until I've gotten the new site up and running, so it might be a while, okay? Bye, Rom. Love you. All right, love y'all too. Peace.